What's going on, family? Hopefully everybody's having a good night. Main reason why I got my sunglasses on is because I got a bright light in front of me, so don't need to get blinded. Anyways, so tonight I will be talking about the introvert complex. At the end of the day, I didn't realize this until probably 10 years ago, literally 2013. I was always looked at to be the oddball, always looked at to be the one that people always thought I couldn't stand them, and most likely I probably couldn't. Or I was always looked at as the one that was shady and conniving because I was always quiet. Didn't realize it, like I said, till 10 years ago, well, now 11 years ago in 2013, that I'm an introvert. Meaning that I'm at peace at the most when I'm by myself. I find comfort in being around my dogs, and I feel being around anybody else. It's nothing personal. Previous relationships have always taken it that way. It's nothing personal. That's just the way it is. And for my other introverts out there, they know what I'm talking about, whether it's male or female. They enjoyed solitude. Now this, and the craziest thing is, and I've said this when I've gone live on my channel, and if you haven't checked it out, check out Larry's Anything Goes LLC. I'm actually taking some time off from work this week so that I can put some more effort and time and effort into my online business and just get back to the way things were before the pandemic. But I digress. But anyway, so and like I said, going out of town to Alabama, Mississippi, because it's so peaceful and quiet, and what most people would consider to be rural states. I felt more at peace than I felt in a long time. From especially driving from Jackson, Mississippi to Montgomery, Alabama, then from Montgomery, Alabama back to Jackson, Mississippi. I felt more at peace because it was like the first time I actually drove through states where there was no traffic. Drove through quote unquote mid-sized cities because, they're not major cities, but they are cities. Montgomery's a city, state capital. Jackson, Mississippi is a city, state capital, but it's not a major city. And driving by myself, so I felt more, I could have drove with other people, but I decided to drive by myself because there was just peace and serenity in doing that. And that was very peaceful, and it's just reminded me like the time when I drove from LA to LA to San Diego, even though the traffic can be a nightmare, but it's very peaceful. There's an area that you could stop at that's right next door to, basically it's right there at Camp Pendleton, United States Marine Corps base, where you could just look at the Pacific Ocean. It's very beautiful, it's very serene, it's very laid back, it's very cool. And I was just at the most peace at that time. And if anybody's ever watched that funny show, Love is Blind, the one brother who had the braids, who was a principal, it didn't work out with him and the young lady, beautiful young lady that he was courting, that he was going to get married to, is because he was very introverted. And, a lot of his characteristics reminded me of myself. Introverted, on his grind, about his business, wasn't with the usual nonsense that a lot of men get into, always playing on the internet, always just want to go out and get drunk, get high, and get twisted and all that good stuff. And for that young lady, unfortunately, she was not excited. There was no thrill. There was no excitement. He wasn't obsessed with her. And that's another thing that has always been, quote unquote, considered the downfall with previous relationships with me. With women, they would always say, "Hey, I need you to be obsessed with me." I'm like, that's not going to happen. I put out I could indulge you and be into you, love you, have feelings for you, but I'm not going to be obsessed with you because I have other goals and aspirations and things I got to get done. If you really want to, majority of the time when a man's going to be totally obsessed with you, it's going to be Pookie and Ray Ray. And I'm not just talking about black men. I'm talking about any race of men that don't have nothing going on for them, who have a basic mindset. They just want to have a job, go home, scratch yourself, get high, get drunk, and that's it. That's the guy that's going to be obsessed with you. The guy that doesn't have he's not driven to do anything. He's not driven to make moves. He's just driven to have sex with you. And if that's what you want, then that's fine. Because a lot of times you can't have the best of both worlds. You know, no, I mean, hey, because if you could have your cake and eat it too, then so be it. But when you're dealing with an introverted man, know that majority of the time, the introverted man is going to enjoy being with electronics, dogs, or a cat, or just being in complete solitude as much as he enjoys being with you. Me myself, I don't find anything wrong with that, but certain people would find an issue with that. Certain females would find a lot of issues with that, and guess what? That's your right to. This is not me dogging or talking bad about anybody. Everybody has their own thing. Everybody has the right to have their own thing, as long as it's when you're being reasonable about the whole situation. Because a lot of times people don't know how to be reasonable. I'll leave it at that. But the introverted man is a man that's driven, for the most part. The introverted man is the man that is, if he wants to be with you, that says a lot about the female. Same thing. And I'm not going to speak about women, but I would imagine that the same goes for an introverted woman at the same time, because consider yourself lucky, because most of the time introverts can't stand most of the world. So when we allow you in our lives, whether it's friend or a significant other, it doesn't mean that you should kneel before us or anything of that nature and kiss the pinky toe, kiss the ring, but it's just a reminder that, hey, this person doesn't have a problem with saying adios, goodbye, have a nice life. As they say in Spanish, vaya con Dios, go with God. Or tengo una buen dia, have a nice day. Or tengo una buena vida, have a nice life. That's because that's how I am. I'm like, hey, I've said that to many people, and it doesn't make me think that I'm better than anybody, but I prioritize peace over anything. The only thing I'm willing to give my peace up for is when it comes to making some money and getting some skills, earning skill sets, earning value, things of that nature, because that comes with the territory. That is one thing that always comes with the territory. But just to be able to be in a relationship, if it's going to cost me my peace, and I think any reasonable woman would feel the same way and should feel the same way. Just being perfectly honest. I think that any reasonable person, a male or a female, especially the older we get, we will prioritize peace. And as you see, I'm in my room right now. My dog is knocked out. I'm at peace. It's the little things in life. It is the little things in life that matter the most. And for some people it doesn't, some people it do. Like I said, everybody's situation is different, and that's what it is. But as I look at the introverted complex, the introverted male, when I speak about myself, it's that peace is the number one priority. Peace, profits, and prosperity. The 3 P's: peace, profits, and prosperity. And if it doesn't involve that, then there's no point of even being around you. That's why because of the world of social media, video games, whatever the case may be, when it comes to online communications, that's why surveys have been done over various different platforms, whether it's government entities or corporate entities or university entities, how more people have become lonely nowadays, because more and more people are more in love with their cell phones, with their computers, with their video games, with their televisions, etc., and so forth, than they are with life. But on the caveat of that, I know that for a fact that because of the lockdown, it was worse for others as it was for, depending on what state that you lived in. But because of the lockdown, it made a lot of us appreciate being able to be outside, and I think that's why even with the crazy cost of living and, it costs money to be outside, I always say you're going to spend, if you take a woman, or if anybody takes anybody on a date, a reasonable date, 9 times out of 10, you're going to spend $80 to $100 for 2 people. That's just what it is. Is there anything wrong with that? No. So you don't take for granted being outside. That's another thing, because it costs way more now than it ever has, in my lifetime at least, so you got to be, think wisely on that. Like, that's why even this year with the trips that I'm taking, I'm being more cautious and wisely. I'm glad I was able to take the trips that I took last year before, inflation got, went out overboard and all that good stuff, because now that's where we're at, the United States of America economy and whatnot. So, but at the end of the day, that's all I really have when it comes to the introverted man. We're about our business. We like our free time. We like our alone time. Like some people, I'm the type that can go sit at a bar, have a couple drinks, and have some food, and be good by myself. That's why doesn't make me special, but it is what it is. The fact that I've gone to a foreign country and did that by myself and was content says a lot. Go to other parts of America to do that says a lot. I can enjoy spending time with other people all at the same time, but I can enjoy being by myself. And that's why most people don't like to travel with me, because they know I need my alone time. That's just what it is. Doesn't make me special. I'm not saying that I'm above everybody, but I am saying that that time is definitely needed. So I'll leave it at that. So on that note, family, do the great three things. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. And as I always say, well, have a good night, because it's almost 11 o'clock. Make money moves, or you're going to live broke like a fool. Ladies, if you're going to date an introverted man, just know that for the most part, he's not going to be obsessed with you. He's going to love you if he's a good person. He's going to cherish you if he's a good person, but it's not going to be up your butt like that. And if that's what you need, because if you even watch that show, Love is Blind, a lot of females on that show and guys on that show needed that. But that one brother who was the principal, my man says, I'm focused. And that's what it is. So I leave it at that. Take care and have a good night.